Skoda began its life back in 1895 as Lauren Clement. In 1925, Skoda Auto was born. Then there was state-owned, and then eventually privatisation. And that was by VWG. Now back in the 80s, Skodas didn't have the greatest name. I mean, I love the Rapid Fastback, but as I mentioned, when VWG took control, then it all changed. Meet the Octavia IV. Welcome to Play It Auto. The Octavia first appeared in 1996. Now this is the fourth generation. Now our model is the SEL. It retails for around £33,000. I do love the design language of Skoda. And moving forward, each vehicle just looks better. And it has changed quite a bit. For example, we've got far more sleek looks, slimmed down headlamps, which are LED. Also, the shaping of the grille, more angles on it. There's also curvature too, that makes it just, well, it just looks modern. Taking a deeper look, you've got some nice driving lights down here, honeycomb styling, and it looks aggressive. And it's full of lots of safety as well. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. In my eyes, the fourth generation is definitely the best looking model. I mean, just look at the curvature of the bonnet. And if you've got a touch muddy, well, headlamp washers. And the thing that I haven't really touched on yet, it is also the IV, which means it's hybrid. So it's got an 85 kilowatt electric motor and battery. And yes, it can perform. And yes, you may have heard of this powertrain, and it may be the one out of the A3 and maybe the Golf GTE. That's what's clever with the VWG group. You can get a car that looks completely different with that amazing powertrain that offers you up to 200 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive, and up to 35 miles of pure electric. What could be better? Chunky arches, no black plastic trim, and some diamond cut wheels as well. Interesting design. Obligatory power folding door mirrors, and you've just got to love race blue. You really do. This is where you put petroleum in it. This is where you charge it. So Type 2. It also takes some of the styling from things like the Comique as well. Now it's amazing how many people commented on ours saying, I've never actually found a Comique that has that. Well, now you can get the Octavia with it. Look at that sleek roofline, big rear windshield as well. And I do like spacing on the Skoda badge too. LED rear lights. No reversing camera on our model, but we do have parking sensors. But just look at that. The curvature. It's like an arrow. Just things like that that grab me. In my eyes, this is a really good looking hatchback, it really is. Our model's got keyless entry and keyless go. And decent ride height too. Nice wide opening door and Octavia on the kick plate. Grab handle as well. And you're met by an LED cluster that displays Skoda welcome. You're even reminded we're in an IV. Leather wrapped steering wheel, premium materials. It's a pleasure to drive, it's a pleasure to sit in, and it's got some tricks up its sleeve. Skoda is known for being clever. Everything from umbrellas in the door through to ice scrapers in the petrol cap. But I've just noticed another thing as well. Up here, you've got a USB. Perfect for a dash cam. It's trimmed well. Yeah, you will find hard plastics, but build quality is pretty strong. And there's a mix of materials as well. Comfortable seats, micro suede, and I assume a faux leather. Isofix on the front as well. Manually adjustable, but they hold you well, and I think they look quite smart too. There's lots of touchy materials. I do like that. Tactile, as Annabelle would call it. It's a decent infotainment screen, which features things like Apple CarPlay, DAB radio, and satellite navigation. You can also see some of your EV settings as well. And one good thing is you can portion off some of your electric in case you go into a low emission zone. Now, one thing that's going to probably wind people up is there's no rotary dials. You've got shortcut buttons, but if you want to go in and start messing with your heaters and things, you are going in through the infotainment screen. Please do not attack me. I'm also very fond of the chrome in here. It even surrounds the DSG, and that's 6-speed. I do like these stubby shifters. They're just a bit more but I do like short shifts in manuals anyway. Steering wheel, reach and rake, leather wraps, and I am a fan of these rotary dials as well for your volume. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel too. Very simple cluster as well. speedo, and you can also see when it's charging and when you're depleting your charge as well. You've got an auto dimming mirror, rain sensing wipers and automatic headlamps, and a safety suite that I'll go more into in the driving section. Decent cup holder as well, nice padded armrest and a great driving position overall. Cup holders, storage points and USB-Cs and other various plugs around the cabin. Lift up the armrest and little storage area. Ample glove box. I almost forgot, your petrol cap release is on the door pocket. Ooh, decent ride height. Makes it nice and easy to get in. Big wide door opening as well. It's rather sleek inside, isn't it? Nice and easy to get into, and another grab handle. USB-Cs in the centre. Dual map reading lights on either side. And get ready for the satisfying clunk. Don't mind me, I'm just being at one with the car. Skoda's just impressive. The mix of premium materials in the back, the fact that you've got a nice pull down armrest here with your cup holders, and even a ski hatch. It just combines comfort, practicality and a level of luxury as well. Very comfortable seats, and will quite easily seat 2 people very comfortably on a long motorway journey. 3 people shorter journeys and 3 children, well, they'd have a whale of a time. Now, one thing I've not seen for a while is pronounced transmission tunnel. It's quite strange to see, to be honest. They're normally a lot lower. But it doesn't eliminate any of the space for your feet in here, and you can get your feet under the seat as well. This is set up for me, a lavish 6'3" at that, but lots of leg room. You've got your smartphone pocket as well, and a light headliner, and we know that helps because it makes it feel more spacious. And yeah, this is a hard plastic, but it's nicely trimmed, and I do like the way that this tweeter's recessed behind the door handle. Nice padded area, electric window and decent door pocket. And USB-Cs in the centre, and you've got your own vents and a mini storage area. Ooh, Isofixes on the back of the seat and airbags around the vehicle as well. Opening the boot, nice and easy, button under there. You can also likely do it on your key fob. Let's find out. You can. Once open, well, in a word, a gangster would be very proud of that boot. Just look at the size of it. Yeah, you've got a bit of a boot lip, but it's not the biggest in the world, and because we've got the hybrid, we don't actually have the multi-level floor either. But if we lift this up, that's cavernous. You can quite easily get all your charging cables in there. So we've got a home charger and a Type 2 as well. If I lift it again, well, you can see inflation kit to the right hand side and your batteries. Decent storage area on the left and the right, and these. Oh, look at these. There you go. Intelligent design again from Skoda. 2 interior lights, and to drop the seats you literally pull. Perfect. Ski hatch, push down and push. Ta-da! Easily removable parcel shelf. You've got tethering hooks, and this is where I insert a shot of the 4 alloy wheels that we picked up for £160. As you'll see, we did have to drop the seats a bit, but realistically you'd get 3 in without even doing that. Now when the seats have been dropped, yes, it's not the flattest surfaced, but there's a very minimal gap there, and it does increase space, well, quite a bit. Considering this is a hatchback, it's pretty damn big. And even do an estate in this car as well. You've got some top tethers here as well. Good morning and welcome aboard the Skoda Octavia. Now this is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. It also uses the same powertrain you see in the A3 and the Golf GT as well. Not quite as quick on its heels as those cars. Pulls 0 to 60 in about 7.7 and is 204 PS. Under the bonnet, 1.4 TSI engine, and that's coupled to an 85 kilowatt electric motor. We've also got a 6-speed DSG, and by now you know that this powertrain is just good. It really is. It offers great economy, it offers seamless transition. They've also refined the cabin as well, meaning silence is golden. And that's the thing about an EV. because you spend up to 35 miles in electric mode and you can recoup at will, then realistically it has to be relatively quiet in the cabin, otherwise you would hear every mortal thing, from tyre noise through to herons cacoring. Skoda have done a good job of that. You've also got a sci-fi noise when on electric mode as well. This is a perfect family car. It's comfortable, it's big, but it doesn't feel it per se whilst on a back road. It just feels normal size. The combination of the electric motor and the 1.4 TSI means it's pretty rapid. It means getting up to speed is absolutely no problem. Right, let's engage Sport, my favourite mode. So that's used by pressing the shortcut buttons on the left hand side and then knocking back the DSG, and then there you go. It's front wheel drive. The suspension's good too. It's nice and comfortable for your passengers, but it's got enough grip, and that doesn't even matter in which mode you're in. In standard driving, it feels well balanced, it feels well planted, and it's an enjoyable experience for the driver and the passengers. Running on A roads, it's good. I mean, the thing you'll notice is if you've got a bad road, you will hear some of the road noise, but you're running on 18s as well, so if you went for smaller wheels with a bigger profile tyre, that would eliminate some of that. Or you just have your music on. And the thing that always gets me about VWG cars is they're almost psychic. Now, bear with me. Even when you're not using adaptive cruise control, it seems to be watching out for you. So if there's a vehicle in front, it will start slowing down just of its own accord. And at first I think it was the Audi I experienced it in, and I thought, is this me or is it actually the car? And it does seem to be the car's. Also, another thing, when I was in adaptive cruise control the other day, I put my foot down, and when I started going into a 90-degree bend, it realised that was probably not the best course of action, so it scrubbed off some of the speed for me, whereas the old systems would just literally fling you around at whatever speed was set, which was great fun but not particularly safe. Speaking of safety, a whole host of safety on here: autonomous emergency braking, collision detection, adaptive cruise, also lane keep assist, and it will try and corner for you. Economy wise, well, it's ridiculous. They claim something like 260, and I can believe it. We decided the other day that we'd go down and pick up some wheels from Hesketh Bank, which is near Much Hool, which is also near Less Hool. Yeah, and on the motorway, it just purrs along. It's such a great motorway car. Gets up to speed rapidly, especially with the addition of the electric motor. Because bear in mind, you've got your 1.4 turbocharged engine, but when you stick an electric motor in, anywhere where that lacks, which isn't very much at all, it just boosts it. So you can just keep accelerating, and before you know it, you're over motorway speed. So bear that in mind. That's a lot of car for the money. And just look at this for a hill climb. I had to actually back off then, otherwise it will wheel spin. It wheel spun then, whilst going up the hill. Oh, that's some serious torque. And just keep pulling, and it does pull. With every hybrid though, if you floor it, it will make quite a bit of racket. But because of the refinement on this isn't the loudest I've heard. Steering, nice and tight, but as I mentioned, you do feel a bit of flex, and that's even in sport mode. It's nice and direct, it gives good feedback. It's a nice driving experience. Going back to the DSG, well, DSG is one of my favourite boxes. It intuitively knows what you're going to do. If you floor it, it will hold. And if you just want to driving nicely. Get over your muppet, Mercs. I can't talk, can I? Yeah, the DSG, very fluid box. And the other thing about it is there's no hesitance pulling off from the lights either. Some of the DSGs I've used in Audis some time ago, if you tried to floor it off from a roundabout, you'd get maybe up to about 0.3 second pause, which was pretty bad. With this, if I just kick down now, instant. All in all, it is the perfect family car. Good brakes as well, as demonstrated there. Just on that little run then, I recouped 1 mile, which is bad considering I had none to start with. That's the other thing. Say you're coming up to a junction, it will intuitively change from petrol into electric, and then when you get over a certain speed, it will then seamlessly change back to petrol. Or if you prefer, you can just run on your e-drive. It's nice and easy to control through the infotainment as well. E-mode on the left, then hybrid, and then auto. I've got it set to auto. Driving modes: eco, normal, sport, and individual. So individual you can tailor bits. Cluster's nice and easy to read. Power bar on the left, charge on the right. Also got boost. Range in the middle. You can also see what your electric range is under that. And on the right hand side, you've got a rev counter and your fuel gauge. As for charging it, nice and easy. On the Type 2, you're talking probably 4 or 5 hours for about 80%, which is perfectly enough for, say, a decent holiday journey, if you're driving relatively economically. If you want to know more about EV charging, click here. Plodding through a village. If you put it in sport mode, I know this seems counterintuitive, it just means you don't need to brake. Like then, there was no braking whatsoever. That means you recoup as well. Adaptive cruise control is nice and easy to operate. You literally pull the stick back, that enables it, and then press the button on the end and it will set it to whatever speed you're doing. And then just back off the pedal and it will do everything you need. It also displays in the hood as well. I do like that. Nice and responsive. Let's put it in eco and see if we notice a difference in the powertrain. Some cars, as soon as you enter into, say, eco mode, you will notice a serious drop in power on the powertrain, whereas this, there isn't that. In sport mode now, on eco, this is the car actually pulling itself to a stop on the regen. Very handy around the Lake District. When it comes to the driving modes, let's say I'm in eco, I can also hit the DSG, knock it back, and I will have sport mode on the box, but in eco mode on the actual powertrain, and that gives me stronger regen, to the point that you probably don't need to brake much. To the 85 kilowatt electric motor with the 13 kilowatt per hour battery is just about what you need. I mean, you can travel along and just use your electric mode and recoup as you see fit. You know, steeper hills and you bring back a couple of miles, and then you could literally stay in electric as long as you need. Or the way that I prefer to do it is literally use your electric mode as hybrid, and that way it'll just increase your overall economy to like well over 100 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive. In a word, it's just a good car. Great powertrain, decent economy, nice and roomy, great visibility. You also get lots of options as well.